Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Sinclair. I am the founder and CEO of Total Mom Inc. We are a social enterprise and a media brand taking moms from overwhelmed to supported both personally and professionally. I am here with Mr. Dean Graziosi. Hello, welcome.
Good to be here, Anna. How are you?
I'm so excited for this interview. I am so passionate about really showcasing fatherhood and business and what that really looks like in today's day and age. And first of all, congratulations. I saw you have a baby on the way.
We do. We're number 4 on the way, so we're really excited.
I'm sure you are all very excited. We're definitely going to have to spoil your wife and send her some Total Mom goodies, that's for
We
sure.
would love it. We love the swag.
So tell us a little bit about, your family unit and what's your favorite thing about being a dad?
Yeah, so first off, Anna, congratulations for what you're doing and the women you're serving and the message you have. The world needs us now more than ever, especially we are going into an economic winter on the backside of COVID, on the backside of figuring out how can you work virtually? How can you still be the woman you want to be, the leader you want to be, the partner you want to be, the parent you want to be, and still scratch that itch of doing more, impacting more, giving more, delivering more. Like that is the big question, right? That is the big balancing act, the juggle that we want to do by either going from, corporate America into being an entrepreneur, or stop dabbling as an entrepreneur and actually be a successful entrepreneur. So I just want to commend you. I want to commend you for all you're doing, because the world needs more of that, right? We need support. We need to be connected to something bigger.
It's a beautiful acknowledgement. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so asking about the family dynamic. So go a little deeper. So you want to know how the balance works? What do you think?
I mean, what's it like being a father? What's it like being a dad? What has it taught you?
I know a mom and a dad. It's different. I know you know with Total Moms Inc. It's mostly moms or women on here, but I think a lot of it is similar, right? We're all achievers. That I believe deep down that saying, if we're not climbing, we're sliding. If we're not growing, we're dying. I believe you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be following Anna if you didn't have a desire for more, to impact more, do more, make more, be creative, right? Instead of just, drawing all your dreams out, you want your dreams to manifest into a reality. Simultaneously, if you're a parent, like I am, there's that guilt of, do I have to abandon my children and
Yeah.
go follow my dreams, or just be a not just, but being a parent only, and then someday. And there's a lot of answers to that, and what it means to be a dad to me. And we'll go deeper on these questions. Anything you want, interrupt me, stop me, just whatever you feel is best for your people. But for me, there's been nothing more important in my life than to be a parent. I love being married to my wife. I love my team. I love impacting people. I love what I do for a living. But being a parent, oh, for me, it just filled a section of me. First off, it made me a better man, because I know children don't do what you say, they become who you are. Right? You can't be mad at your kids for cheating on their exam at school if you talk about cheating on your taxes at the dinner table, right?
Right.
You can't talk about you should eat healthier, but you're not eating healthier. You shouldn't talk about being loyal, be a good friend, have good ethics, have good values. You can't talk about not being, having equality in people. You can't talk about all that crap if you don't live it. So
Mhm.
for me, it was like a magnifying glass. Like, how do I help children be the best version of themselves? I had to become a better version of me. So I'm really grateful to my kids to help me be a better man.
I love that so much. And honestly, so tell me, how do you create that space for family time and business time? How do you and your family unit kind of collaboratively decide, when we're crossing that line, or is it mixed together? Like, tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about that.
Okay, so first off, that whole separate business and family and business and personal, can I give you a little secret? It's
Absolutely.
impossible. It's impossible. It, it's impossible. It's not. Here's what I mean, because especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing your own thing at home, they're going to collide into each other. And if you have this thought that they should be completely separate, you're going to drive yourself absolutely bananas. Now, should you have some guardrails and specific things like no phone at the table, or when I shut off work at 6 o'clock, I'm taking my phone and putting it in a little basket. All of those things, you can come up with your own plan. But here's
Yeah.
what I want you to do: embrace it. Being an entrepreneur, doing your own thing, it is something you'll think about in the shower. You can't say, oh, no, wait, this is before my clock time. I can't be innovative. I can't be creative. It's going to come in moments. You're going to be on the playground with your child and they're going to do something like, oh my God, this would work in my business. So find an elegant way to integrate the two, but come up with some rules for yourself. Like I remember my son one time when he was talking to me, I was looking at my phone,
Yeah.
my older son who's 13. And I was like, yeah, buddy. And I was kind of listening, kind of reading. He's like, it's okay, Dad. Just look at your phone. And I remember that hit me like, oh, son of a bitch. Excuse my language. But I was like, he's going to think I'm not interested in him. So I made a pact with myself. I know I'm an entrepreneur and I know I'm working, but when my kids talk to me, I want them to know that I'm actively listening and it's important to them. And I made some criteria like that. But here's what I want to tell you: how do you find the time to explore your dreams, your goals, your desires, and still fill your heart to be the parent or spouse that you want to be? I want to tell you right now, it's not easy. On the other
Mhm.
side of that, I want to tell you it's absolutely worth it. I'm going to tell you what I watch my wife struggle with, and I'm going to tell you on me. For me, this is something I'm going to challenge you to do. And as a mom, listen, I can't even pretend to be a mom. I'm watching my wife go through being pregnant again. Unbelievable what this woman handles, and she'll handle giving birth, and she runs her own business. It's unbelievable. But what's helped me, Anna, and I hope this helps you, is as a parent, it's really time, and this is my opinion, to decide what's truly important to you, what success really means. And I mean that. I want you to hear me. What does success really mean? Because in life, we get pulled and pushed in so many different directions. Sometimes we forget what success means. Is it just paying off the bills? Is it putting money away? Is it ultimate
Right.
freedom? Is it ultimate control? Is it ultimately to have every choice you want to make is your choice and no one sways your choices? I don't know what it is to you, but I want to tell you, I've really defined what it is to me. So I'm going to give you a little example. This
Okay.
morning, since my big kids, I have a 15, a 13, a 2, and a baby on the way, right? Since my 15 and 13-year-old were young, Anna, and maybe this doesn't appeal to anyone else, right? But I wake up at about 4:45 every day so I can go work out, because when I'm done, I make them breakfast every day. They're with me. I have my older kids 1 week on, 1 week off. When they're
Right.
with me, I make them breakfast and I make them lunch. Both, they're capable of doing both. They're really capable kids, but it does something to my heart. So I make them their lunch every day. I make them their breakfast. Then I get a little time to communicate with them, and I drive my daughter to school, to high school. I come back, grab my son, and take him to school. You can't
Wow.
imagine how important that is to me. That's a definition of my success, that I'm able to do that, that no one can take me from that, not in business. Don't have to race off to work. I can't be there. My kids, my daughter plays softball, my son plays baseball. I take them to every practice, and it's an hour freaking drive each way. But do you know how important those hours are, Anna? I find out who they like, who they don't, what happened in school, what they're thinking, questioning their values. It's like the most amazing thing in the world. So my definition of success is I need to be in control of my decisions, because nobody's going to tell me I can't do a morning routine with my kids. Nobody's going to tell me I can't take them to practice, which is like 6 days a week, or be there on full weekend games. Those things are there's no waiver, like there's no exception. I'm going to do that. I also love being. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's your priority. It's your
It's
non-negotiable.
my
It's
non-negotiable, right?
your
But
non-negotiable. Yeah.
so but here's why I'm sharing why it's so important to know what success means to you. Because if that's my non-negotiable, how am I able to have the freedom to do those things, to do the morning routine? If I work for someone else, someone's going to dictate my life, my schedule, and what I have to do. So I would die for those. Like, they're so empowered into my soul that I will do
Yeah.
whatever it takes. I will fight for it. I will fail a million times. So, first thing is identify what success means to you. And once you do, then you have to audit your life and figure out all the things that don't fit into that success bucket, and you have to say no. So remember this. If you remember nothing else from this chat today, is yes got you out of Egypt, but no will take you to the promised land. I say
Yeah.
no to everything. If it doesn't fit with me bonding better with my wife and having a better marriage, if it doesn't fit with being the dad I want to be, or the impact I want to make, and my company and my team, if it falls outside of that, I'm telling you, it's a no. How do I run? I've started over 13 companies, but I actively run 4 right now. I actively run
Right.
4 companies, including Tony Robbins' company, my company, the company we have partners in, my real estate company. I make breakfast every day. I take them to practice. I go to their games. I get date night. How the hell do I do that? Besides having an amazing wife, is I say no to everything. So one thing today is audit your time and have a definitive no line and just leave that time for the things. Once you say no, time opens up and leave that for the
Yeah.
things for your business and your family.
I love that. I love that you said audit your time and get clear on those success measurements. Like most people, when they think of like, oh, my life is successful, they think about either maybe their financial finances or the career, but it seems like we're digging much deeper. We're digging much deeper than that. And for me personally, I feel like impact is one of those big successors. Like if I'm impacting the world, if I'm impacting others, then it's a yes for
Yeah.
me. And also if I'm growing, like I'm having some sort of a transformative experience from something, then it's a
Same
yes
here.
for me. It's the best. It's like it's your North Star. It's how you know you're on the right path. Okay, so I have more questions
Sure.
because I know we don't
I'm
have.
gonna add something else here, if you don't mind, Anna. Uh,
Of course.
because this all sounds good and I understand the juggle. I watch my wife now who's has a thriving business and also loves being a mom, and she is
Yeah.
conflicted right now of having a 2-year-old that wants her every moment and she loves being with him, having a baby, and also her passion, her business that she owns. And I watch this elegant juggle, and her and I had to go through this purge of saying no, right? And now that she's evolving and I'm watching her, she can't do it all, right? So there's certain things that I said, are they a 10? Are they a must? She goes, not really, they're just a habit. So there's old habits that creep into your life that you do as a routine that really you need to really identify and learn to say no. But I got to give you a byproduct of this. I spend a ton of
Okay.
time with my children because of this decisions. I also work a lot and I love both. But I have to tell you, like this week, my daughter's 15 years old. If anybody's out there got a 15-year-old teenage, she's the same height as me. She's absolutely beautiful. And she's at an age where kids are having parties and people are drinking and all those things that evolve at a normal 15, 16-year-old's life. And she came to me 2 weeks ago and said, hey, Dad, I'm just, because we get to talk, because I take those hour-long rides 3 days a week when I go to practice. I've been there since she was a little kid. And because we have this open, honest relationship, she tells me everything. And she tells me about the boy she likes and the decisions she's making. But this week she said to me, she's like, Dad, when I'm older, maybe I'll have a glass of wine. But I made a decision this week. I'm watching my friends go to parties and drink.
Yeah.
And they make really bad decisions that I think are going to haunt them all through high school. So I made a decision. I'm probably not going to parties, but if I do, you have my word. I'm not going to drink because only bad things happen. And they're the
Wow.
byproducts of me going upstream to deciding what success means to me, saying no to things that aren't important. I get invited to, I mean, there's this weird thing. You hit a certain level of success. I get invited to the Emmys, the Grammys, the floor seats of the final games. I say no to
Right.
all that because it doesn't fit in with the father I want to be, the husband I want to be, the leader, and the growth I want to have. And I want to tell you, I feel like if you took all my money away, I'm still the most successful man alive. I have a blessed family. So know that I just want to stress that it's personal. Like I get this and I feel it, and I know it feels like a struggle. But I'm telling you, audit your time, say no, because that was worth $100 million to me a few days ago when my daughter said that, or 2 weeks ago, because I
Yeah.
know that she's going to have an easier time while she's watching some of her friends or ex-friends struggle.
Well, it seems like those moments that you had together, it just garnered this trust and just this ability to speak to you about these things. And it's because you showed up. It's because you made that space. It's because you were mindful and present, that you weren't like go 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 go. Which I mean, I'm guilty of sometimes. Just being
And
in
we
that
all are.
moment. Like,
And I
yeah,
don't want to
we're
pretend my daughter's perfect. This morning, when I went and woke her up, her room was a complete disaster because she's studying for finals. And she's like, Dad, I'm studying for finals. I'll clean at the end of the week. So I just want you to know she's still a teenager. But that time, because it's important to me, has really made a difference. Okay, your next question. Sorry.
So, okay, what is the first step in designing the life that you want to live? What is that mindset? What's that one thing that people can use as like their mantra to really remind them that this is okay, now they've decided what it is that they want to build. What kind of mindset should they have, and how do they stay empowered in sticking on that path of what they've just mapped out and built out? And,
Really good,
you know,
really great question.
yeah.
Um, Here's what sometimes our brain goes to. Do I have the blueprint? Am I scheduled? Am I disciplined? What is the master plan? All of those things are absolutely important. But I want to, I said it before, but I want to give you a little reflection of going upstream a little bit. You know how many people wish that, desire that, but they don't make it? And that's not you. If you're watching this, you don't want to be someone who once thought you could have it. You could have the freedom, the control, the business, the family, and then you're like, it's not possible. How do you go from it's possible and achieve it from it's not possible and somebody else got lucky? Because that's what happens when you give up. Then you
Right.
start finding the reasons why it didn't work. It's the last president's fault. It's the current president's fault. It's the future president's fault. It's my dad. He never really gave me love. It's my friends. It's my mom. She doesn't support me. My husband thinks I'm crazy. Soon as you decide it's not going to happen, your brain wants to attach whose fault it is. Don't let yourself go there. Take complete
Yeah.
responsibility. Take ownership. When you're in charge of your destiny, win or fail, it's the most liberating thing in the world. That's number one. Number two, of course, you got to pick the right boat to be in, right? Like if you owned Blockbuster 10 years ago, I don't care how hard you row, it's not going to work. You can go as fast as you want. Make sure you get in the right boat. It's not just about the rowing, it's rowing in the correct boat, if you understand that analogy, right? You could work really hard in the wrong industry or work smart in the right industry. So make sure that you are in the right space. Make sure you learn from people who've already been there. That is crucial and key. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't learn on your own dime. Don't learn through trial and error. If there's someone who's already forged the path, find someone who's been there, mentor with them, get in a workshop, get in a mastermind, read their book, buy their course, pay for speed, pay to go faster. That's a definite.
Yeah, I agree with that one big time. It's sometimes you just need to pull in the people who know what they're doing and just do it. I mean, I found like in my first early days of entrepreneurship for like 4 years straight, I was just struggling trying to do it all and figure it all out. But now with the power of technology and the internet and online education, I mean, there really is no excuse of not being able to find someone who can turn your vision and turn that into a successful project or a company or a
Yeah,
brand, right?
absolutely. But the last thing I'll say, and the last thing, not but, and the last thing I'll say, if you go upstream, you got to get out of your heart and get in your head. I mean, get out of your head and into your heart, I should say. Because we'll tell
Yeah.
ourselves, I want freedom, I want control, I want to be a business owner, I want to be a great fit, all of that, but it doesn't really land until you feel the emotion of why the hell do you want that? And what I'm going to encourage you to do, and everybody said, what's your purpose? What's your why? But I'm going to give you a little hack. And I would, if you heard nothing else from me today, do this. Really ask yourself, once you come up with your blueprint, I want to make a certain amount of money, I want this much freedom, I want to be this kind of mom, this kind of partner, all those things. Once you identify that, I want you to ask yourself why you want that 7 different times. Every time you give an answer, because I want to be self-employed. Great. Why do you want to be self-employed? I want to spend more time with family. Why do you want to spend more time with family? Here's where this break
Mhm.
is. It's called the 7 levels deep. Somebody taught it to me a decade ago. But when you get out of your head, when you say, I want more time, I want more freedom, I want to be with my family, if you dig under the hood, there's something deeper there.
Yeah.
Maybe your dad didn't give you time in your life, or maybe your mom wasn't around, or maybe you didn't feel in control as a child. When I really dug into my why, and this happened about 15 years ago, I understood when you ask yourself 7 times, there's a moment about the 5th or 6th time when you stop thinking and your heart takes over. You'll get goosebumps, you'll get tears in your eyes. For me, I said 3 things. I didn't want to go backwards because as a kid, I hated being broke. I moved, we had no money. I'd go to school without lunch money some days. I didn't want to go backwards. I just
Yeah.
didn't like being broke. Number 2, my
Mhm.
6th answer was I wanted my kids to have choices. I didn't feel like I had many choices as a kid when you don't have anything. And I'm not saying raise entitled children, but give them choices.
Yeah.
And the last thing, I
Yeah.
wanted to be in control of my life. And that fits what I told you before. I want to be in control. I want to be with my kids when I want. I wear a t-shirt every day of my life, black, gray, or light gray. That's pretty much it, right? Uh, I raise my children the way I want. Nobody tells me what to do, when to do, how to do it. It's not a control freak. I just don't want anybody to tell me. I felt like I was so out of control as a kid. My parents got married 10
Yeah.
times by the time I moved 20 times by the time I was 20. My parents were married 10 times. I was always moving. Stepbrothers, stepsisters, step friends, step grandparents, move, move, move. I was so
Yeah.
out of control as a child that I don't want to rule my life, especially if someone's not qualified to do it, right? So
Yeah.
those things are mine. I don't know what yours are, but when I'm having a tough day, when I don't think I can balance it, when shit goes sideways, when people let me down, when I'm told that I'm not smart enough, you can't do it, don't have the money, I don't think I have to have more time. I got to look at my blueprint. You know what I think? I am not going backwards. My kids will have
Mhm.
choices, and no one's taken my control away. When I think of those three, I will chew through a brick wall. Find your
Yeah.
why. That's your foundation of your next level.
I absolutely love that. And I agree with you 100% wholeheartedly. I feel like we both went through similar things growing up. I was a two-time immigrant refugee, was the first woman in my family to go to college, go to university. Woman to actually build a successful business. And when I look back to the things I didn't have, it has really fueled me today to do whatever I have to do to make that happen for myself, my family, my children, my mother. I want to take care of my mother. I don't want her be left with nothing. She immigrated us. She did everything for us. So I feel the exact same way. So if you're listening to this, ask why a million times over and over, and figure out what is it that's driving you and fueling your fire to touch, move, and inspire people through your business, through your life. So, Dean, I really want to know. There's a lot of women in our network right now that are completely confused. They left corporate, they're hearing that entrepreneurship is the next step. It's the go to solution for them to access wealth, access transformation, just access a new life. What if they have no idea what digital marketing is? What if they have no idea of how they're supposed to get their message to millions? What would you say?
It makes me think of the book Who Moved My Cheese. If you really paraphrase the book Who Moved My Cheese, it's a great little read. Two mice are getting food every single day, and all of a sudden, the cheese stops coming. And one mouse says, I'm going to sit right here and wait for that cheese to come back. And the other mouse is like, it's scary to go out there, but I don't think the cheese is coming back. I'm going to go check it out. Like, you're a fool, right? And that other cheese keeps going, and you know the story, right? One starves to death, one finds new cheese. It's scary to
Yeah.
find new cheese. It's scary to do something different.
Mhm.
But isn't it scary to sit around and wait? You know, I play some tricks with myself, and I think of things like, imagine being at the end of your life and meeting your maker. Whether you believe that's God or whatever your beliefs are, but imagine meeting your maker at the end of your life, and God showed you a video of the woman you could have been. I think about those things
Wow.
all the time. I think about, what man could I be? What kind of father could I be? What kind of business owner could I be if I embraced my fears? If I didn't let imposter syndrome win? If I found a way to investigate the things I don't know or learn from people who've already been there? If I didn't say I don't know, I can't, I just say I don't know how yet. What if I what if I just kept moving forward? What if growth and moving forward was in my DNA, not waiting for someone else or waiting for someone else's permission? Some of you are waiting for your husband or a friend or a partner to give you permission to be the woman you were supposed to be. A dear friend of mine, Trent Shelton, and another friend, Lisa Nichols, both said the same thing. Change my thoughts on this. Is God or the universe, whatever you believe, gave this dream, this desire to you, not to them. Maybe your significant other will never understand why you do it, want to do what you do. That's okay. Your mom may never understand. Your friends may never understand. That's all right, because you got this downloaded into you, not to them. Remember, they don't make statues of critics. They make statues of the crazy people, the dreamers, the ones that they once thought were nuts. So I want to say,
Yeah.
of course it's overwhelming. Of course it can be confusing. But here's the thing: take a breath, find someone who's already been there. Model other people's success. I still read a book about every 30 days. I listen to books. I'm listening to books. I'm in courses. I'm in masterminds. I'm in workshops. Work more with Anna. Work more with people who've already been there so you could see the path. Stay connected to something else. And the last thing I'll say is, especially you're as a woman, you are way stronger than men. This is just a true story. I'm not saying this because I'm here with you today. I watched my mom. My mom and dad split when I was 3 years old. When I was 3 years old, my mom she barely got out of high school. My mom's the most beautiful, amazing woman, but she was really insecure because she had a learning disability. My mom worked
Mm.
3 jobs. Superwoman. She cleaned houses, she cut hair, she painted houses, came home at 9 o'clock, did our laundry. My father didn't give us any money.
Wow.
Yeah, we had to live in trailer parks and crazy places. My mom was superwoman. She juggled it all without a
Yeah.
college education, without money, back in the 70s when it was brutal for her. And she did it. Women are the strongest, most resilient women alive. And you have something us men don't. You have intuition on another level. My wife can spot a good deal or a good person or a not so good person a mile away. She's always right. You have intuition. You give birth. You are the strongest humans out of there's not even a question. So with that said, you also sometimes overthink because you want to protect everybody. This is not me just guessing. It's deep conversations. And 62% of my audience is women. So we work really hard to understand. You overthink. You want to protect everybody. You want to make sure every I is dotted and T is crossed. Here's what I want to tell you. You're strong enough to do this. This is the time when you learn online or learn e-commerce or learn how to sell what you know or whatever business you're doing, the playing field is even, completely even, at least more than it's ever been in history. Could it be more of it? Maybe, but I think it's more even than ever before. But the biggest things you got to overcome is that self-doubt. You got to overcome
Yeah.
overthinking. Don't let imposter syndrome, that's the new term for it. It's self-doubt. We all have it. Do not let that stop you. You're a powerful woman that can do anything you put your mind to. Learn from somebody who's already been there and go out and reach your full potential.
Get it done right now. If you're watching this, get started. Dean, thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful interview, and it's been lovely to kind of hear just how mindful of a person that you are. You're very in touch and in tune with the life that you want to live, and you're helping millions of other people do that too. So, thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for joining us here at Total Mom. We're so pumped.
Well, appreciate it. Anna, keep up the good work and nice meeting everybody.
Bye.